Hello and welcome back to the channel. In today's video we are at the Goodwill Outlet inside St. Louis. I've been to the one on the outside and I've had plenty of videos from the one on the outside of St. Louis in Bridgeton. This is the one inside St. Louis. I'm showing you the parking lot because we got the very last spot available, and this is after the bins had been open for an hour. We actually were not planning on coming to the bins. We just happened to get done pretty early and we were driving by it and we decided to stop. Also, sorry if I have weird cuts and stuff in this. I'm recovering from pneumonia and I keep coughing my head off still. So I'm pausing to cough and then I'll start up again. And also sorry about the voice. But no, this is the parking lot. We are the very, very last cars. You see a couple people starting to come out, but really there's no parking. It is extremely full. There was no carts when we got in. My husband ended up grabbing a busted cart. He went to grab a cart and they're like, oh, the wheel's broken. We just figured it out. We were like, we'll use the broken cart. We'll figure it out. I will say I have not been to this bins before. My husband has. He went when he was on a work trip because that's the type of people we are. I'd never been to this one. I have been to 4 in the Indianapolis area. I've been to the Bridgeton one and I've been to the one in Jacksonville, Illinois. But this is the first time I've been to this one. I'm not going to lie. I was extremely overwhelmed when I walked in. I will say, one of the things I do miss about the bins in Indiana, which seems kind of weird and I guess would be bad if you were recording the sound instead of doing a voiceover like this, the Indianapolis bins always played music. These bins don't. I'm looking at this bin because I'm waiting. See, the busted wheels. The wheels in the front don't work, so we're figuring that out. We are working on it. Again, we had not gone expecting to do this, so I'm recording this all on my phone. I'm not using any of our GoPro knockoffs. I'm not using the glasses. I'm not using anything. I'm literally using my phone. That's why the video is the way it is, up and down. I can't figure out how to not do that. This is a full bag of Catcher's stuff. It would sell, but we were trying to be very, not Catcher stuff, hockey goalie stuff, sorry. We were trying to be very... No, it is Catcher stuff. We were trying to be selective in what we picked up, but there is money in this. And honestly, my best recommendation for this would be if you had a Play It Again Sports in your area to pick this up and then take it there. They're going to give you probably double what you pay for it by pound. And you don't have to worry about shipping it and it will sell. So that would be if you're going to pick up sports equipment, I would probably pick it up and take it to a Play It Again Sports. I will say we accidentally ended up with a baseball bat. My husband picked it up because he thought it was cute and he thought of our 7-year-old and it got to the bottom of the cart and we didn't sort through it. So we ended up bringing a baseball bat home. We only did 1 cart and it wasn't even all the way full. We had no bags because we weren't expecting it. No camera. We just stopped in. We usually don't do this. We don't do a spur at the moment trip. We usually do the planning. We're going to get there right when it opens. We're going to, what items are we looking for this time? All of that. Nothing. We had absolutely nothing. We went in blind. I will preface this with, we never, ever, ever, ever made it towards the close. I didn't look at a single item of clothing. It was insane. The people were just swarming the clothes. Where the hard goods were bad, but not terrible. I did get bounced around here. It was more aggressive. I don't think I got it on video. I had a guy snatch stuff out of my hands. And it wasn't even anything good. I was just getting it for my own personal use. It was, I got this for my own personal use too. I'm a cross stitcher. The fabric was awful, but I wasn't going to take my time. That fabric doesn't weigh that much. I wanted the frame. Those frames are nice. I have a couple, but it's nice not having to, again, first world problems here, nice not having to put my cross stitches in and out and switch them out if I want to use that frame, because I am a cross stitcher, but I'm also a cross stitcher that gets bored easily. So I usually have 3 or 4 different cross stitch projects going on at the same time, so I can bounce around and do whatever one I feel like doing at the moment. So that now you know way more about my cross stitch habits. And those of you that watched previous videos saw me pick up like pounds of cross stitch thread that I sorted through all of it. I washed all of it. I wrapped it around spindles. It is, I want to say, in 4 different tackle boxes. That's how much thread I got. I was just ecstatic. I was a happy customer then. These are like the tapestries you hang on the wall in like classrooms and stuff. I have sold those before, but I've sold them in lots. That was like for an entire year. We got it at one of our estate sales that we went to, where it had like first of the year, fall, Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, winter, Valentine's Day, St. Patrick's Day, Easter, May, Memorial, like it had all of that together. So it was one full year and people did buy that. Stamps are hit and miss. I would not get stamps unless I got them in a free lot at an auction at this point. They just don't sell well. These, okay, so it's a Tupperware, vintage Tupperware, the thing we used to do before charcuterie boards. Relish tray. Sorry, it took me too long to think about that. Those sell, but do you know what sells the most out of those? There should be a dressing cup in the middle that has a lid. I have one of those. I love that. Mine does not have the dressing cup with a lid because that's what got lost. So I got mine at a rummage sale, I think for 25 cents. That dressing cup sells more than the entire thing put together. And it's very small. So it'd be incredibly easy to ship. It would ship in a 6x4x4 box with padding. So if you ever see that, pick that up. The dipping tray that goes in the vintage Tupperware relish trays. Funny story, I ended up picking up a bunch of phones like that. Not that phone in particular, but I picked up a box of phones that was taped shut that I was just like, let's gamble here. It did not have the phones that were in there. Oh, these are those really big checkers you get to play with the fabric mats. I didn't find the fabric mat anywhere. I love the big checkers though. And the kids sometimes will make their checkerboards on sidewalk chalk and stuff, and this would be great for them to use. So far, the 2 things in our cart are for our own personal use. Again, this was not something we planned. This is not something we were, usually before we go, we're like, okay, what are we looking for? What are we going to get? What's the like top value? What are we willing to spend? How many baskets? I don't know what I'm going through here. I wish I would have gotten a better look at it with the camera. I'm not used to holding my phone while trying to do this, but I will say you're not getting as motion sick with me holding my phone, and I also don't know how to make my phone bigger so it takes up the whole screen. A whole bunch of Barbie dolls. If you needed some naked Barbies, there you go. I also found these bins to be kind of dirty. I did not go in the bathroom when I was here, so I cannot tell you how the bathroom is. You do not get a bathroom review on this one. Sorry. There is a bathroom there, though. So if you are worried, this ledger is worth about $20. It could have been worth more, but there was some wear on the binding. I wish I would have looked at the wrapping paper better because it was wrapped in other paper, and that's usually a good sign it's worth something. There were a bunch of VHSs later on that we find. I'm just bouncing around. I'm really not looking that much into things. Like, I'm not hardcore looking at it. Again, we didn't go there with a specific mission in mind. I didn't even log the mileage or anything for this, which I should have. But we were already down in the St. Louis area. What were we doing? Oh, we went and saw Jay and Silent Bob tour. And it was absolutely hilarious. I was worried it was going to be incredibly vulgar because, you know, Jay and Silent Bob But no, and it was hilarious. That game was not in there. But if that game had been in there, I probably would have grabbed it. But it was just the empty box for Railway Tycoon. I will say I was very leery in picking up DVDs this time around, and I will show you like the book DVD area. I was very leery in picking up DVDs because I was worried about the rotting and stuff, that they're coming out and saying some vintage DVDs are rotting. Probably should have looked at that Christmas Village there. I don't think it was worth a lot, or it was from somewhere else. You almost got to see my ankle braces in that picture, but you didn't. And again, because I wasn't prepared, I did not have my hand braces with me, so I was worried about doing too much damage there too, so I was pretty hesitant at the bins here, not as aggressive as I normally am. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and have a productive day.